All right, everyone. So we have some pretty interesting comments from Eric Bischoff on CM Punk. We're reading the transcript here from eWrestling News. So he had this on becoming a CM Punk fan. I think I'm becoming a Punk fan. In fact, no, it's not. I think I'm becoming a Punk fan. I have become a Punk fan. No, it really hasn't, because when I explain why and how I arrived here and why I wasn't a Punk fan, it'll make perfect sense, at least to me, and it's really all I care about. It's not true. It just sounded good. Now, he said this on what changed his mind. Look, I didn't watch Punk a lot when he was ascending in WWE, so I can't say anything about his work. And when I say work, I don't mean ring work. I just mean overall work, his ability overall. And I certainly don't think I've ever watched one frame of video from his time on the indie scene. What I became aware of, and I was a neutral Punk fan, I didn't care one way or the other. That's another way of saying neutral sounds nicer, though. I was ambivalent about Punk before he got into AEW because I didn't know anything about. I saw him in a couple of signings or conventions, maybe once or twice, and I was kind of within 30 yards of him. And I was watching him, and he's really good with people, and that was the only impression I had until he got to AEW. And I'm not going to talk about it all again. We've already talked about it to death. But he said some stupid shit in my opinion. In my opinion, he showed me his ass by going for cheap heat right off the bat with his Hogan comments. I mean, that's so easy. So all those things gave me my first real impression of Punk. On top of that, generally speaking, he didn't look that good in the ring to me because I wasn't familiar with his character prior because I didn't watch him. What I saw in AEW made me go, huh? I don't know. Guy looks like shit. I think I'm in better shape he is right now. He's just, seems tired and just doesn't seem too interested. And he'd get these big wins against these young guys because that's how I remember him being positioned often whenever I saw him as he's in there giving the young guys a shot, passing the torch as it were, right? That's kind of the way he was positioned. And every time he'd win, he'd hold that belt. It looked like he just saved the baby from a burning building. I went, man, I ain't buying it. I don't see it. And now I watched him. I watched him a little while ago in there with Cena in the Elimination Chamber match. He's amazing. His timing is completely different in WWE than it was in AEW. His ability to emote in a believable way absolutely is different in WWE because I didn't see it. And what I did see maybe go, quit crying, man. Just pick that belt up, go home, raise your fist, be happy. Why you gotta cry? How am I supposed to be excited about a babyface that cries all the time? F the crying, man up. That's the way I felt about him. So you combine that with the way he was being presented. Didn't know how bad it was at that point. I didn't know the politics that were going on backstage. I was unaware of any of that for the most part, but just saw what I saw from him made me go, I think this guy's way overrated. And I think I just got done watching him while I was watching that match. I'm thinking, and by the way, he brought out the best in Seth Rollins, which kind of elevates him even a little more. Not only did he look good and do his stuff great, but he also elevated Seth, in my opinion. They each elevated each other, which is when you connect with the ball and it goes out of the park into the parking lot. And that's what those two did. So, in my opinion, went from a neutral to shitty to very impressed. And a lot of it had to do with that match that I just saw a little while ago. So, this is high praise for CM Punk. There's no question about this. This is high praise for CM Punk. But I think Eric Bischoff brings up a good point. Now, I didn't watch a lot of him in AEW, so I don't know how good or not good he was. But my guess is if you put a lie detector on CM Punk at that point, my guess is he always wanted to be back in the WWE. This is where he wanted to be. So I gotta say, I mean, he put together a lot of really good matches. He had the steel cage match, the Hell in a Cell match. All of these matches have been really good, and he's been a key part in telling these stories. WWE needed someone like that at this point. They really do. So we'll see what they do for this WrestleMania. Like I don't think CM Punk's the biggest star in the company, but he's a main eventer and he's a needed main eventer for them because he kind of fills in these good feuds that are the main event feuds without a title belt. Now we'll see if that changes, anytime soon. I think they could be building a little Roman CM Punk thing as well, that goes beyond, this triple threat match we're going to see most likely at WrestleMania. But this was high praise for CM Punk from Eric Bischoff. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.